Hi there, hello there, my name is Craft, and I can't stop thinking about the world of Minecraft. Ever since my previous video discussing game theory's video on the trial chambers, my brain has been fixated on the little details of world building in the game, and I've been extra observant when playing Minecraft in my off time. So during my recent Minecraft session, I was on one of my friends' realms, messing around in their villager trading hall, and while I was gathering enchantments for my armor, something began to stir in my head. Us players as builders, we are powerful enough to force these villagers into these trading halls, but I began thinking and looking at the villagers and what they can do, and these villagers are smart, very smart. So much smarter and more capable than we give them credit for, and from a certain point of view, are far more capable than the player despite not having the same abilities that we do, and they deserve some appreciation. Here, let me explain. For the 2 to 5 people uninformed, villagers are the main NPC type mob that populate the overworld in villages. With all the other structures being some sort of abandoned ruin of some kind, it's pretty cool to see some sort of thriving civilization still in this wild world. However, when a player encounters a village, the only thing they care about is what they can trade with them. And most times, this leads to being in the before mentioned trading halls. This is usually because villager trading is one of the best ways to easily gain certain items either really fast or in bulk. From a gameplay standpoint, they are pretty valuable, and some would even say overpowered. But from a world building standpoint, if we actually stop and think about what they're trading, and if we actually look at some of these items for sale, things begin to look really interesting. Here, take a look at this trading chart. First, we have the basic vocations of farming, butchery, shepherding, leatherwork, and cartography. Here we see villagers use items either gathered or sold to them to craft more complex items. Stuff like cakes, beds, saddles, decorative blocks. So even here, they clearly possess a knowledge of crafting on par with the players. Or is it? Because even here we see villagers are actually more capable than the player, since we see leatherworkers can make saddles out of leather we give them, which to the player is actually an uncraftable item. We gotta go out into the wild. They can just rustle up a large amount within the average workday along with the leather armor that they already have on sale. Similar with various blacksmiths being able to make bells and chainmail armor, which are also uncraftable. So even in these basic jobs, we see villagers being rather resourceful. But you know who's even more resourceful? The cleric, who sells very out there items like glowstone, ender pearls, and bottles of enchanting. Very difficult items to obtain normally, even to the player. Yet here the cleric is, with a pretty good amount of all these items on a daily basis. So plenty of respect is already due for these hard workers, who not only gather items, but then use them to create and provide highly desirable and complex items. But if we start looking at the other jobs on the villager trading chart, then we see something far more interesting than crafting items: enchantments. Enchanting is a very unique game mechanic, as it allows you to add powerful buffs to your tools, weapons, and armor. This is a very powerful thing that the player can do, and, of course, here we see in vocations like the various blacksmiths, fletchers, librarians, and even fishermen offering enchanted items. Now, this is very interesting to me, since the player and villagers enchant items in very different ways. For players, we have to do one of two things: either use an enchantment table, or use an anvil to combine an item with another item of that type, or an enchanted book. For the enchanting table, the enchantment we put on the item is entirely random. It can be something as great as Sharpness 5, or something as shitty as Bane of Arthropods. And for the anvil, we still need to have the items to combine, or go out and find the books in abandoned structures, or some random chest in the ground. Still very effective, but those are very big drawbacks. Drawbacks that the villagers have somehow bypassed. Think about it. When you buy an enchanted item from the villagers, you can still purchase another item of the same enchantment. That's how you can get like multiple double chests full of mending books in our bases. But then, how the hell are they able to have so many copies of those books to sell us? They seem to not only control the type of enchantment they get, but also do it consistently to stock up their wares. This is clearly a knowledge of enchanting that is so much more advanced than we have. While we scramble to even get simple enchantments, they can mass produce enchantments to sell to us. And this enchantment knowledge is applied to either the books needed for us to do it ourselves, but also to the best gear they can craft. Diamond swords, diamond armor, diamond pickaxes, and so on and so forth. So they can clearly combine this skill of enchantments with their skill of gathering the best items and crafting even better items. Geez, no wonder people make villager trading halls. It's incredibly valuable to have these guys make all the stuff we can't. They're pretty cool when you really put it all together. But let's take a look at the one ability that we always lord over these villagers. The one thing that separates the player from everything else. They can't build. While they're here mastering their trade, we're already building a mansion around them like we're cranking 90s in Fortnite or something. And they just can't. And as far as game mechanics is concerned, this is just very true. Hell, the only mob that even comes close to the building is the Enderman, but villagers, nah, they can't build. But as far as the actual, lore reason, I think it's not that they can't build, I think that they just don't want to. You see, villagers are clearly people without want. They don't have the same drive of progress that the player does. They're perfectly content to live their villages in peace and provide the products they can to aid any adventurers they come across. And hey, they already have their village built up, so why build any further than the roof to sleep under? And while we as builders and explorers and conquerors can look at that and see weakness, I personally think that makes them pretty neat, and they deserve all sorts of appreciation. So to close things out, the next time you stumble into a village or decide to make a trading hall, take some time to say thank you. And maybe this time, don't put them into a life of servitude, because these guys are pretty neat. Thank you for joining me for this little video. Just wanted to share these thoughts I've had while being hyper observant while playing this game I love. Although this script was very hard to get through at times because I kept flip-flopping on whether or not I wanted to do this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to do the like and subscribe thing. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. I'm out of here.